For the first time since President Joe Biden stepped out of the election race, Vice President Kamala Harris took to the campaign trail, and her stop today was in Milwaukee. During her remarks, Harris shared her campaign goals, which includes building up the middle class. She also laid into Donald Trump and the Project 2025 agenda.
Building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency. Because here's the thing we all here, Wisconsin, know. When our middle class is strong, America is strong. But Donald Trump wants to take our country backward. He and his extreme Project 2025 agenda will weaken the middle class.
Almost 100 days out from the presidential election, and Republicans are running against a whole new Democratic ticket. Now, Republican vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance held his first solo rallies in his Ohio hometown and Virginia on Monday, and he didn't back down from criticizing the vice president.
I don't know Kamala. I served in the United States Marine Corps and I built a business. What the hell have you done other than collect a government check for the past 20 years? Really doesn't matter who we run against, let's be honest, because every Democrat in leadership has supported these broken policies.
Now, Republicans are threatening legal challenges over President Biden's decision to leave the race.
But many experts say those are unlikely to be successful. 27 News Washington correspondent Hannah Brandt explains why.
As Democrats try to swap out President Biden from the top of the ticket, Republicans are pushing back.
I think they've got legal trouble.
Just before the president dropped out of the race, House Speaker Mike Johnson told ABC News the withdrawal would raise legal issues.
These elections are handled at the state level. Every state has its own system, and in some of these, it's not possible to simply just switch out a candidate.
But legal experts disagree.
There's really nothing that the Republicans can do as a legal matter to stop the switch from happening.
Campaign law professor Paul Smith says Democrats don't have a legal obligation to nominate President Biden.
He's not on a ballot anywhere yet. He's only a presumptive nominee before he pulled out.
And political communications professor Peter Loesch agrees, saying the Democratic Party has the power over their presidential ticket, not Republicans.
It's not theirs to decide. It's up to the Democrats to decide who the Democratic nominee is going to be. I think they're trying to throw sand in the gears.
The Democratic National Committee says it'll have delegates vote through a virtual roll call to choose a nominee by August 7th. And Vice President Kamala Harris has already secured the support of enough delegates that she's expected to win that vote.
And as long as they do it on time and in the normal processes, she'll go on the ballot. And at that point, the process is over.
Republicans call it undemocratic to have delegates pick the new nominee.
Well, they have a point, right? You had a whole lot of people vote for a guy.
But Loesch points out the Democratic primary elections are over, leaving the DNC with limited options.
And I think the DNC is trying to figure out the fairest, most transparent thing to do in really extraordinary circumstances.
Working for you in Washington, Hannah Brandt, 27 News.